So, have you ever seen an analog input on a monitor actually produce snow? Yeah, uh, it's odd. I don't think I've ever seen it before, but this Acer does it. Um, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is, as we know, Windows 7 support is uh, going away very soon. And the computer my dad uses upstairs at his house is still running Windows 7. So a couple videos ago, I set this guy up for Windows 10 in order for him to use this instead. It has a Core 2 quad now. It has like 8 gigs of RAM, I think, and an SSD and everything else, and it's ready to go. Or so I thought. I'll get back to that. But this is interesting. This is not mine. I'm set this one up for, well, no, fix this one up for somebody else because it needed a new power supply. So just needed to get that in, and so. But I find it interesting. It's a Dell OptiPlex 790, and it's like the same as the 960, but it's just flipped and like actually upside down because the feet are on this side on this one, feet are on that side on that side. So it's, but these are, if it's desktop oriented, this is what it looks like. And I just found that interesting. Neither here nor there at this point. But like I said, this is running Windows 10 right now and it's set up for it. I'll just power it up, just making sure that this snow goes away, I guess. Maybe there is something more wrong with... Oh, wait a second. My input. Have the right input? Okay, that's interesting. So yeah, maybe there is something wrong with this dude. Because that should be... Oh. Yeah, that should be powering up. I knew that wasn't right. Okay, so that's on digital. That computer's restarting. Hold up one second. Well, I had two issues, I guess. So now it's analog, and I disconnected the digital in on the other machine, and now analog is working fine. But this machine with the Windows 10 kept rebooting itself. I mean, I didn't have it on for a while since I set it up, and I needed to get this prepared for him shortly. But you know what? That is okay. That is okay that Windows 10 is not working fine on this right now. You know what it might be? Is the battery low? Oh, I need to check that out. I think it might have lost its settings. Didn't say that the battery was low though. Kept rebooting. Anyway, so I was thinking about like, what's the best way to go about getting, the stuff on his old machine to this new one. Or this newer one. There's a daily backup of it, the Windows 7 backup. It does create a system disk. So what I'm going to do now, because especially since the Windows 10 install doesn't seem to work anymore. Oh, and this machine doesn't work anymore. Something, you know what? That's great. All right. Yes, it's the weirdest thing. Absolutely the weirdest thing. Much troubleshooting. I put the original Core 2 Duo back in here. Still did the same thing. Changed out the memory. Same thing. Disconnected the hard drive. Same thing. The thing that was it was one of the things. Oh, and I tried a video card. Booting up to Windows 7. So the Core 2 Duo is back in there. I probably will put the Core 2 Quad back in, but yeah, still working. Okay. Booting up Windows 7. I mean, from this DVD, because Windows 10 was disconnected, and actually that kind of corrupted itself, but it actually recovered now with all the reboots. Windows 7 would reboot the installation CD at the same exact point. So that kind of, I was thinking maybe it was the power supply, and you can't really test that because it uses a non-standard smaller ATX. That's not standard at all. Unlike this guy, I was able to test the what is it again? The 790 with a regular ATX power supply. I mean, obviously it wouldn't fit in the case, but I was able to test it out to make sure that was the power supply that was wrong. I could not test that, and it's like, what do I do with this? Trying to recall what is different that this time than, because it was working completely fine before I put it off to the side and decided, okay, I need to work on it again a couple weeks later. Yeah, I am serious. It's the PS2 ports. One of them is apparently broken, and probably has been broken. I was thinking to myself, how did I have this connected to a keyboard and mouse before? Or maybe it just doesn't like this keyboard and mouse with this KVM. Actually, it kind of does, because USB to PS2, it's working. So now, after hour plus later on, jeez, I am ready to start the process that I was going to do in the very beginning. Restore Windows 7 onto this machine, then upgrade it to Windows 10. Problem is, there is a little bit of problem though. I was thinking about this. It's probably installed in legacy mode. Probably doesn't make a difference, but that's just one thing to keep in mind, because right now this is set to H, or actually RAID right now. And then at the very end, if everything still works, I put the Core 2 Quad back in. And Bob's your uncle, I guess. So I'm not going to button it back up right now, but let me reboot, and I will get to the point where I show you where I will restore it, I guess. Maybe. Okay, so it is my best guess that my dad currently is running a OptiPlex 755. OptiPlexes are coming out of the woodwork. Anyway, and I'm pretty sure it's set to legacy, which I would need to restore that. So let's do that. It's set to legacy, and let's boot from Windows 7, and then just wipe the partitions, restore. Come on, get me the, yeah, there we go. Wipe the drive, I guess, through there. Restore from the system image, then upgrade. Alright, so since I was sidetracked with this stupid PS2 port error, that's ridiculous. An hour and a half, I think. Anyway, troubleshooting. The other thing was to copy over his documents and music and everything else, which I've had problems before, especially with permissions. leave comments down if you've never had any problems or if you have a better way of doing this. But copying some stuff, some files, just some files, and you don't know what they are. Even though like the username is the same and you can change permissions and everything else, some files that I have done in the past, just copying over, even with the same username, the UUID of the user is different. So, and you're blurry. You love to see that. Given that, I cannot continue, like, that file is unreadable. And even, like, with administrator rights, I can't read those files anymore. And so I'd have to get them again. So, plus, this installation of Windows 7 is, you know, it's his. He's familiar with it. It works. So, upgrading this with a better machine. And look at this. Look at this. Every single time when it got to this point, it would reboot. Ah. So anyway, let me let's. Is this the best way to do it? I don't know. I'm not going to be installing Windows 7. Just want to wipe the disk, then go back and then restore. I guess. Whatever. Custom. Okay, let's advance. Okay. Okay, this is the backup drive. I don't I don't want to delete that one. So, delete. Yes. External is fine. Yeah. So there we go. Let's go back again. Oh, we can't do that. We need to reboot. Ah, screw it. Oh, wait a second. Yes. Now let's go to repair. I think this is where it is. I've never done that. Let's check this. I'm restore from a system image. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Now it should find. Computer's my dad's computer. Most recent one was 2 days ago at 5 o'clock. Hold up a second. Alright, somebody was at my door, so apparently I have a computer job in an hour and a half. So, this is what I want to, and, you know, I came back down, it hasn't rebooted itself, so that's a really good sign. So let's use that image from 1226. I booted up with the 32-bit. Yeah, okay, I'll be back. Now with a 64-bit version, I don't think I saw this before, like it populated this, but let's try this. I think that's good. Yes. Okay, so now we are restoring the Windows 7 image that's located on the backup of this onto the solid state. And yes, it's doing its thing, and it's not rebooting. Oh, I should just bite my tongue. And I hope, like, I should have actually checked. I was over there yesterday, and I should have checked to see what kind of BIOS settings were set for the disk drive, Because if this restores and then keeps rebooting, well, I know that he doesn't have a legacy, which, oof, I don't know. Well, we'll find out if this actually continues to run. All right. Yeah, it's running. Okay, yep, that. So that's going to take a little while. So I'll see you on the other side. So the restore completed, and now we're going to see if it actually starts. If I have the right disk access mode. Let's see. I believe it should have rebooted by now. Yes. I think so. There we go. Okay. So, Windows 7 is installed. This is his setup. And so at this point, I can go ahead and try to install Windows 10. Upgrade to Windows 10. Well, this is definitely a head scratcher. So it booted up Windows 7 correctly, as you saw. Asked me to reboot, getting new hardware in. And on the next reboot, it did the booting cycling thing. Huh. So I tried the opposite way of putting the PS2 back. I tried the different SATA operations, and yes, it only works in Legacy, so I was right on that. So let's see what happens with this. This is, it doesn't seem very reliable. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. It's not going as planned. Keeps rebooting. And listen to the power supply when it reboots. Clink. It's booted. So reset the whatever. I shorted what is it? RTC, whatever. I have 2 sticks of RAM in here now. I'll see what it's like with the 8. And then, oh, okay, never mind that. I changed the when I reset that. I put new memory in. Different memory. I put trying these 1 gigs, and then it will come up. Type in your system password. I am very confused. So at this point, I am going to put the 8 gigs in and cross my fingers. Now, like, my thoughts on having this be like a hardware, like a power supply thing. Yes, yep, because I put the 8 gigs. I want to continue. Cool. Is that it happened consistently at a certain point. It was able to be replicated every single time. It wasn't like, if it was a bad power supply, I don't think it would have went through with the restore. I don't think, like with clearing that out now it's working. So this is a mystery, and let's see if Windows 10, it won't correct anything. But let's see if it can actually be installed. It's on. I don't know. I'm back and forth about like how. It's not connected to the internet because I don't want to have this version of Windows 7 activate against my dad's. so, so I will be back and see if I can just do an in-place update. Just a little side note, actually, it's kind of funny. My dad only had 23 gigs left on his 150 gig drive that he has in there, but this has a 512. So let's extend this volume before we do the install. So now, yeah, okay, much better. That's not compatible with Windows 10. Yeah, and that's fine. Confirm. I don't need that. Keep personal files and apps. If it was a power supply issue or a motherboard issue, it would be random reboots. I don't know. I'm confused. I am confused. And you can hear it in my voice. So I'm not exactly sure, even if this works, if I'm going to be giving my dad this computer, because reliability of it might be suspect. So I don't know. This is a very long video so far. So thank you for bearing with me, and hopefully I'll see this to a conclusion. Well, here we go. Windows 10 is installed over Windows 7. Don't know what those two components are. It's a serial port, Matt. Read it. So, man, actually, I should probably just disable the serial and parallel port on through the BIOS. Sound is working, and we have the onboard graphics is fine for now. And we still have the Core 2 Duo E8400. And so when this finishes, put the Core 2 Quad back in? Yeah, I guess so. That's what the CPU was purchased for, right? Oh, by the way, oh man, this is kind of dark. So, where is it? Okay, so there was a jumper over those right there. The one's right in the center, right there. So that's what I needed to that jumper I needed to take off in order to get the BIOS password that nobody set on there off. And actually, as soon as I did that, I mean, it's been the most reliable it's been. So, but one test then would be, let's let's update and restart. Core 2 Quad is in. Do not reboot on me. Okay, and it turned off. Good, good. Maybe I missed it. Well, I mean, the fact that it's okay, there we go. It got rid of the service tag too, or something. I don't know. It's weird. Core 2 Quad 9650. Yepper. Please don't reboot. Please don't reboot. Please don't reboot. Still with the Windows 7 startup sound. Okay, well, is it successful? That seems to be good. I think we nipped this one. I guess it was that last that jumper thing. That's good. Here's the thing, though. I'm gonna close it up. Close it all back up. Let it run, and we'll go from there. All closed up. Power. Do not reboot. Come on. Good. Sigh of relief. I mean, this was my oh shoot, I don't have 1909 on here. Oh, I still have the 1903 install. Okay. So anyway, at this point, I'm gonna let it go and do its updates, and I think that's the end of it. I think it's gone long enough. What should have been a very simple restore and upgrade turned into a lot of hardware troubleshooting for whatever reason. Do I dare attach a PS2 keyboard and mouse to this machine again? Because that's how it all started. No. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it more than I enjoyed going through all of this pain. So, and hopefully it wasn't as painful for you as it was for me. Till next one. Next year, I guess. Take care.